Hello, and welcome to another edition of All or Not According to Jack with your host, Jack Toledano. Yes, I gotta adjust the glasses, and we changed the background for this one. Uh, uh, Reason I'm using this background is because it kind of lends itself to be able to display not one but two album covers of an album that I'm going to be talking about. So it is almost winter. We're very close to the winter solstice, uh, being this recording date of December 19th. Um, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to share the background of the album that we're going to be talking about. We're going to talk about the Jethro Tull Christmas Album. Uh, and yes, there have been, so back in, I think it was 2003, we're have it queued up here. I'm going to look. The official recording date of when it was, or rather the official release date of when it was first released was September 30th, 2003. Uh, and this was the original cover. You see down in the corner, there's Ian in his flamingo-like stance playing his flute. Uh, this, I think, is an even nicer winter cover, with the more gray sky against the background of people skating away on the thin ice of the new day. Several of those people doing it, with yet a different church background. Uh, any way you slice it, um, the music is absolutely beautiful. Again, I don't really have any graphic to show you, but we're going to talk about each song. Uh, in a few cases, I think the well, basically, it's a re-recording of the Christmas album. It's a remix, a 2024 remix. I believe it was Stephen Wilson who did the remix. Um, let's check on that. Um, let's to be certain. Uh, it doesn't say specifically. I'm assuming it's Stephen Wilson, but I could be wrong. If you were to buy the new limited deluxe 4 CD and Blu-ray version, you get CD one is the original mix, CD two is the 2024 remix. CD three, there is a Christmas live concert at St. Bride's, 2008. CD four, similar concert by the Ian Anderson Band live at St. Bride's, 2006. On Blu-ray, you get Dolby Atmos 5.1 surround sound, high resolution stereo mix. So you get essentially, CDs one, two, and Blu-ray, the same songs, but different sounding. Um, any way you slice it, these songs, you know what? There is not a bad song on this album. So let us start. So there's 16 songs in all. First one, Birthday Card at Christmas. Uh, More of a song. And this particular song struck me as one of the most enhanced because there was much more, to me, there was much more of an echo in the vocals. Basically written about people who have birthdays at Christmas time. So Ian said that his daughter, Gail, I believe, has a birthday at Christmas. I'm no stranger to that. Both my mother-in-law and father-in-law, God rest their souls. Uh, Mother-in-law Mary, I believe her birthday is the 24th. Uh, my father-in-law Warren, his birthday the 25th. One of those combinations. And I don't know if you know this or not. I actually have a great nephew Uh, yeah, so I'm not a grandfather, but I'm a great uncle. Um, and he has the same name as me, Jack. His real name is Jackson, but they call him Jack for short. Adorable kid. I believe he's 4 now. I think he was born on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day as well. Must be the weirdest freaking thing in the world to, you know, to have a birthday present also under the Christmas tree, not be able to celebrate your birthday at a different time of the year. Like, fortunately, actually, all 4 members of my family. So my wife, her birthday is close to Valentine's Day, but at least it's far enough away from Christmas. Mine and my 2 children, all our birthdays are clustered between the end of May and the end of June. So uh, we're far the hell away from Christmas. So we're the lucky ones. So, but beautiful song nonetheless. For the plight of those who confuse their birthday and Christmas at the same time. All right, second song, and this is a favorite of mine, Holly Harold. It's a medley of Hark the Herald Angels Sing and The Holly and the Ivy, uh, Fuller Sound, Echo in the Flute. I love the accordion. Love, the part where, they go into Hark the Herald Angels Sing. So cheerful. Puts a smile on my face every time. Good job, Ian. Third song. Uh, this song is originally from Living in the Past, the early '70s compilation album. Uh, a Christmas song. Excuse me. Very simple. Starts out as a standard Christmas song where you can hear the what do they call those? The church bell? No, not the church bells. The the bells on the chain. Uh, Basically, they're reindeer bells. Uh, but then the song turns whimsical and funny. Listen to some of these lyrics. So, and I'm gonna repeat. I'm gonna recite the all the lyrics. So it starts out pretty standard. Once in a royal David city stood a lonely cattle shed where a mother held her baby. You do well to remember the things he later said. I would assume that we are talking about the Virgin Mary and Jesus Christ, her son. Uh, and I never knew Jesus to be this funny. When you're stuffing yourselves at the Christmas parties, you'll just laugh when I tell you to take a running jump. You're missing the point, I'm sure. It does not need making. That Christmas spirit is not what you drink. So, how can you laugh when your own mother's hungry? And how can you smile when the reasons for smiling are wrong? And if I just messed up your thoughtless pleasures, remember if you wish, this is just a Christmas song. Ian being his clever, charming, funny self, of course, at the very end. Hey, Santa, pass us that bottle, will you? Love it. So live it, learn it, know it. Song number 4. This is basically a repeat of, they call this another Christmas song. I believe this is off of the album Rock Island. I actually saw this tour back in the late '80s. More straightforward. I'm not going to really recite the lyrics beyond, well, let's see. I do have them queued up, so I'm not going to recite the whole song, but hope everybody's ringing on their own bell this fine morning. Hope everybody's connected to that long distance phone. Old man, he's a mountain. Old man, he's an island. Old man, he's a walking. Says, I'm going to call all my children home. This song, very sadly, reminds me of how much I miss my family at Christmas time. I have my family spread all over the place. Nobody left but my immediate family here on Long Island, sadly. Uh, I have my in-laws upstate New York, my parents in Florida, my brother in the Carolinas, cousins all over the place, aunts, uncles, you name it. But the song, another Christmas song, kind of reminds me of that. Little touching. To number five, back to a little more whimsical humor. Not the song itself, but an exchange that I just had with one of my lodge brothers. So, first, the song, God Rest Ye Merry Gentlemen, a song that Ian, anytime he would go into his flute solo improvisation, which he's been doing for years, he did it the first time I ever saw them back in '79. He goes into his humming and snorting into the flute for about 2-3 minutes, and then he goes into God Rest Ye Merry Gentlemen, uh, concert staple. Uh, this is the first time, or rather, the 2003 version is the first time that it's ever been recorded um, in a jet, on record. He does it in a very cleverly in a jazz style, beautifully done. Uh, I'd say Martin Bear really shines with his acoustic guitar, or no, his very lightly played electric guitar, but beautifully done. Um, so I had this friend named Dave. He's a brother of mine from the Rockville Center Lodge. He's been telling me for years about you know, I don't know if he really hates Jethro Tull or he's just doing this just to get my goat. Uh, but he's always putting them down, making fun of them. Uh, so I played the God Rest Ye Merry Gentlemen for him. And first it's like, yeah, this is pretty good. But then he went on and he called it elevator music. So Dave, if you're watching, I'm challenging you. Come to this channel so we can debate why you think Jethro Tull is so horribly offensive. Talking to a guy that got ridiculed for liking Kiss so much back when I was a kid. I can't fathom why anybody would not like Jethro Tull, but whatever. I hope you accept this invitation. Okay, onward and upward. So, song number 6, Jack Frost and the Hooded Crow. Great, great song. My namesake. And the funny thing is, I never actually knew what a hooded crow was until I went to Ireland. Uh, that's actually a species of crows related to the American crow, but uh, it's basically a crow with kind of a gray back, and so they call it a hooded crow. I actually saw some hooded crows when I went to Giant's Causeway, uh, the Led Zeppelin staircase for how the Houses of the Holy album. I did see hooded crows there, so I guess it's a very British and Irish sort of thing, but great song nonetheless. Number 7, Last Man at the Party, more of a New Year's song. This song led by the piccolo, of all things, the flute, and more beautiful accordion, done very nicely by who does the song? Who plays? Andrew Giddings, keyboards and accordion. Yes, beautifully done. Really adds some character to the album. Song number 8, Weathercock, originally off of the Heavy Horses album. Uh, I like both songs, of course, but I do like the re-recorded song better, though both beautiful. More about the season. The flute is more in the classic Tull sound. Little heavier flute, but good morning, weathercock, make this day bright. Oh, absolutely beautiful. Song number 9, Pani. Uh, it's basically it's an instrumental. It's a classical instrumental by uh, originally composed by Gabriel Fauré, arranged by Ian Anderson. It's mainly flute and acoustic guitar. While listening to this song, I picture a beautiful peaceful snowy landscape. Excellent. Um, More on why I love this album as a whole a little bit later, but trying to get through all the songs. I want to talk about each one. Number 10, this is definitely one of my favorites. This was an original written for this album. It's called First Snow on Brooklyn. Uh, not Definitely a favorite of mine, not unlike the bigger folk hits of the early 70s, or what they're now calling yacht rock type bands. Uh, I challenge any yacht rock group to write a song as good as First Snow on Brooklyn. Beautifully done. It sounds like something Gordon Lightfoot or James Taylor could have might have put together, but Ian knocks it out of the park with First Snow on Brooklyn. Uh, Hey, he even talks about a yellow cab leaving JFK, and uh, that's right in my bellywood. JFK Airport, Queens, New York. Uh, you can murder coffee in a grande cup. Okay, number 11, Green Sleeved, a take on, you know, basically a word play on the song Green Sleeves, another traditional Christmas song, a little bit more hard rocking, done peacefully, of course. More great guitar by Martin Bear, more great flute by Mr. Anderson. I love Jonathan Noyce's little bass interlude in the middle there. I wish there was a little bit more of that, bass, standing there by itself high in the mix there like that. Number 12, the first of two holiday songs that actually come off of the album, Songs from the Wood. Song number 12 is the last song on Songs from the Wood, Fire at Midnight. Starts with a church organ intro. Oh, absolutely beautiful. Uh, I like it here. Really good. Number 13, another play on words. Uh, we Ian takes the song We Three Kings, originally written by a Reverend J. Hopkins. Uh, he calls it We Five Kings. More classic Tull flute led tune here. Nice, really nice. Martin kills it with his uh, Spanish guitar, and Andrew Giddings with his, keyboard, piano work. So nice. 14, another classic that I absolutely love. This is a song that I've known for a long time. Basically, since I first got into Jethro Tull back in 77, 78, off of the album Songs from the Wood. I'm talking about the last song of side one, Ring Out Solstice Bells. Basically, talking about the winter solstice. I never knew that there were actually bells rang for when the winter solstice started. Uh, Check it out if you've never heard it. How could you have not heard it? So that's number 14. Number 15, another favorite of mine. Uh, of course, we're talking about the classic old told. Uh, one of his very oldest songs that he covered. This one, originally written by none other than Mr. Johann Sebastian Bach. I'm talking Boree. originally from the album Stand Up. This one done in a much more classical music style. Um, you got to check it out. You have to hear this. I don't know how it's a Christmas song, but it's just done so beautifully here. Why not? So that leaves us with our last song, uh, Martin Bare's instrumental. Martin Bare writes this one. It's an instrumental, simply titled "A Winter Snowscape," which is basically the piano is a little more pronounced in this song, but it's basically piano, um, Martin's acoustic guitar, and Ian's flute. But more very similar to Bavane, where is where you picture that beautiful, peaceful, snowy landscape, uh, also put on a winter snowscape. So there you have it. So one thing I've always loved about the Jethro Tull Christmas album. So for many years, uh, so I was raised Jewish, and I never really celebrated Christmas until I met my wife Susan. We started living together. We got married. We basically celebrated Christmas. Put up a tree, exchanged gifts. Uh, then we had children, exchanged gifts with them too. Pretended one of us was Santa Claus every year. Um, but so my wife's tradition every year, she puts on It's a Wonderful Life. She plays the Carpenters' Christmas. She plays her country Christmas songs. Whereas me, left out in the cold, I was praying. One of my favorite groups, please come up with a Christmas album of some sort so I have something to enjoy. Henceforth, Jethro Tull puts out uh, the Jethro Tull Christmas album. Absolutely, I loved it on first listen. Absolutely beautiful. 5 out of 5 stars, always for me. A few years later, Rob Halford of Judas Priest, he puts out his own solo album called Winter Songs. You know what? That's a great album as well. Not as great as instrumentally as the Jethro Tull Christmas album, but pretty damn good also. We'll talk about that one at a later date. Uh, who knows? Maybe I'll talk about it before Christmas as well, but had to talk about the Tull Christmas album. It is very special to me. I listen to it every year. It does not take a backseat to the Carpenters' Christmas or Chicago's Christmas or the Judd's Christmas or Reba McEntire's Christmas or whatever the hell you will. Uh, Beautifully done instrumentally. Uh, by all members. Let's just reiterate who was in the band at this time. Of course, there's Mr. Ian Anderson, vocals, flute, acoustic guitar, mandolin, piccolo, percussion. Martin Bare, very simple, acoustic and electric guitar. Jonathan Noyes on bass guitar. Andrew Giddings, keyboards and accordion. Let me tell you that accordion really reaps better dividends on this album. Really gives it an extra dimension. Don Perry, drums, percussion. Additional personnel, James Duncan, additional drums and percussion. Former bass player, Dave Pegg, additional bass guitar and mandolin. The Stirs String Quartet. You have first violin, second violin, viola, and cello. They look like they're Russian, or Polish or Russian string quartet, but done beautifully. Um, it did make the U.S. top holiday albums chart on Billboard, at 35 was its peak position. I'm not going to read all the albums, but it made the German charts, the UK, the Scottish charts, et al. This is Jack Toledano. If I don't speak to you, have a very Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Festivus. Just have a healthy and happy holiday season. Uh, Thank you for sharing the time with me here on All or Not According to Jack. It is much appreciated. Uh, you know, I hope to gain more viewers, subscribers at a later date. So please tell your friends about me. That would make a great Christmas present to me. So thank you so much, and we will speak soon. Have a holly jolly Christmas, folks. Bye.